Hello, it's me, Cubby, with another personal spin, aka review. And today I'm continuing with my David Bowie uh, series. I'll be doing every single album, including all the live ones I have. And we're up to Hunky Dory so far. Hunky Dory is an interesting album because it's quite often cited as one of his best. However, I am not so sure. As an album, I like it, don't get me wrong, but there's a couple of songs on it, particularly in the second half, that I always thought were a bit sort of like he needed to fill up some space on the album, and so he sort of just came up with any old rubbish. Because, for one thing, they're totally different to the rest of the songs on the album, and secondly, they're just not as good, or at least not in my opinion anyway. So, the album starts out with a great line of songs, Changes, Are You Pretty Things, 8-line poem, Life on Mars, Kooks and Quicksand, all on side one, or at least I'm guessing they are, because that's how it's thingied on the back of the album. Let's see. I don't know if you can see. Well, even if you can't. And then you get Fill Your Heart, Andy Warhol, Song for Bob Dylan, which are all three are a bit, in fact actually even Quicksand is a bit like, oh. And, you know, I'm all for being different, and that's good. But for me, it's such a departure from the first lot. It's almost like it was intended for a different album. And then he goes back to Queen Bitch, which is really good. And I've never been sure how to pronounce it. Bewley Brothers, or Bowley Brothers, or Booley Brothers. The B Brothers. Which is it's pretty good as well. So, we've had our little rant. The songs are kind of a mixture of the last album, which was definitely in a much more sort of straightforward hard rock style with a little bit of experimentation, and the Space Oddity album sort of combined. You got your guitars, but you've also got like lush strings and catchy arrangements and things like that. And there's little bits of like the song Kooks is a little bit kooky, I suppose you could call it, and even Life on Mars is a little bit sort of, I would actually say sort of proggy. You know, it's a little bit. It's not just he's not satisfied with just writing a basic rock song. He writes a basic rock song and then goes, what can I do differently? And that's what you get, at least on the first half of the album. And then from Quicksand onwards, he's sort of, it just goes a bit weird. Like, Andy Warhol's not a bad song, it's quite catchy, but I don't know. I've never been too into it. Fill Your Heart, I just can't even remember how it goes, but I remember I was like, what the heck is this? Song for Bob Dylan was kind of the same, goes on about his sandpaper voice or something. I was like, eh. But then Queen Bitch comes on and it's like, yeah, this is cool again. It's a bit more of a basic song, Queen Bitch, but it's still pretty good. And then the B Brothers is kind of an amalgamation of all of it stuck together, really. Obviously, you've got Changes, which is like one of his biggest hits, and then Life on Mars. The fact that it has two sort of hits is probably why it's such a popular album. But as an album as a whole, I've always felt the second half was a bit like, oh. And I don't know how long it would be if you took out Fill Your Heart, Andy Warhol, and Song for Bob Dylan. But I've always felt if you take those songs out, it'd be better. Because Quicksand's a bit weird, but I quite like it. The other thing I noticed about Hunky Dory, it's a pretty cool album cover, no, is that it's not quite so bass centric now. It's still got like good bass, and you can still hear it, and the production quality is good, but it's not like bass heavy. The Man Who Sold the World, it's almost too loud. It actually drowns out the guitars. At least it does on my JBL. Then that is built for bass anyway. But even so, it's very much like bass. Whereas this tends to be like, we'll have bass, but we'll have all the other things in it as well. Bowie's vocal performance on this album is really good as well. I mean, it is a good album, don't get me wrong. It's just that second half is like, not sure. but I've gone about that enough now. Lyrics, I'm not very good at deciding if lyrics are very good because I'm not very word intelligent, I suppose is the word, but they seem pretty clever to me. I like the lyrics. I sing along with quite a lot of these songs, so that's good. Instrumentation wise, again, you get like rock band and then string arrangements on Changes, Life on Mars. Life on Mars is a great song. Even on Oh You Pretty Things, I think there's strings. They're more subtle, but they're there. That's a pretty cool song as well. It's very dynamic. Yeah, so I give it 7 out of 10 drums, just like on Instagram. Because I like it, but I honestly think he did better. I think he was still kind of working out the kinks of his sound, or the kooks of his sound. But we get there on the next album, that's for sure. So there we go. That's my personal spin on Hunky Dory. Thank you for watching. I have been Cubby. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. I have more stuff coming. I'm away this weekend. I might upload videos of where I've been, especially if I go to HMV. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll be back on Monday with another review. Goodbye. Turn it off.